That severe weather system that Betsy and the team have been telling us about continues to sweep across the country, bringing snow in the north and tornadoes and severe weather in the south. Take a look at this. This is an image of a tornado touching down in New Iberia, Louisiana this afternoon. Wow, it caused a wave of damage, but we've heard only one person was injured, so that is good news, certainly.
Lots of weather, my goodness.
Yeah, this is the same storm system that dumped feet of snow in the Rockies, brought flooding rains to the West Coast. Then it moved east, and there's still an ongoing blizzard in the northern plains. All that severe weather in the deep south. We get rain from it tomorrow morning, maybe a little sticking point for Geauga County to start the day. But then it continues to move east. It's a really prolific system. Wow. And we, of course, are watching the next big thing that's on the horizon, too. So let's take a look at how things have been faring around Northeast Ohio. Pretty easy peasy today. Just clouds, temperatures holding rather steady in the upper 30s to right around 40 degrees. And you can see the raindrop there. We'll finally get some rain in here. We've had very dry air flowing in from the northeast, and that has been helping to evaporate the leading edge of the rain. It's been trying to get here. Ain't gonna make it yet. We need another push of moisture, and there is a big one that is coming northbound. Look at all of the rain that is headed north. This will overcome the dry air, so we really don't have any problems as far as locking in rain in the forecast late tonight. The problems come with that northeast wind that we have and some cool air in place. I'll show you that coming up in just a moment. But we have that severe weather in the south. Here's our storm system. It's way up here in the northern plains. That's where the blizzard conditions are still happening. And just because we can, to show you clear out into the Pacific, there are several more storm systems that we are watching. Friends, this is 6,000 miles of distance that we are keeping an eye on, because these storms will eventually lead into the possibility of a white Christmas for us here in Northeast Ohio. And it's not only going to be a white Christmas, it's going to be a cold Christmas too, because just like the stirring mechanism happens with the storm systems here in the lower 48, that stirring mechanism is going to unlock the beast, the very frigid air that is sitting in Siberia, and we have a polar plunge that's going to be coming our way. Right now it looks like it's going to hold off until the middle of next week, middle to end of next week, but it does look like we will have a significant change that's setting up. In the meantime, back here to Northeast Ohio, look at where these temperatures are hovering right around freezing. And remember, Geauga County sits up high, especially northern Geauga County. We have some high points around Chardon and out toward Thompson. Those are the areas specifically that could have a light glazing of ice in the early morning hours before it all starts to clear out. Let's go National Designer hour by hour forecast. By midnight, now we're finally seeing that rain overcoming the dry air, especially in areas farther south. Temperatures still well above freezing. But remember, our high terrain areas sit up here, and when you sit up higher, you tap into that colder air. And that is when, boom, by about 2-3 a.m., we may have some light freezing rain falling in those very high terrain areas, specifically the Thompson area. And that is expected to continue through about 6 a.m. Then we should get enough of a push that the temperatures are going to come above freezing and knock out that freezing rain threat totally. It will also help to melt off if there is any snow, or excuse me, any ice accumulation. And by 8 a.m., that whole thing is out of there. Temperatures are going to be warming pre-dawn. So we're going to be in the 40s to begin the day in Mansfield with cloudy skies, scattered rain showers around. We get into the afternoon, the rain is out of here. Temperatures holding in the mid and even upper 40s before an evening round of rain develops. Now, this is the interesting round of rain, because if you see the winds coming at us from the southeast, and then the winds coming at us from the west later on in the evening, this is the cold front that's going to drop the temperatures for us. And by the time we get into Friday morning, we may have some flurries around, and we're talking temperatures in the low 30s. Now, specifically honing in on the ice threat, highland areas of western Pennsylvania, way worse situation than here. And we have one little blip, boom, right there, with the very light possibility of some icing in the early morning hours, which will melt off before the commute. And so I don't think you're going to have any problems at all. Union Home Mortgage forecast. Watch what happens with the temperatures once that cold front goes through. We are going to have some scattered flurries around on Friday, a few snow showers hanging around on Saturday, maybe a nice dusting, starting to feel a little festive. Ski resort's going to be blowing snow like crazy. Lake snow continues east on Sunday. We're going to hold in the low 30s next week, and Thursday, Friday next week is when we will be watching very carefully to see if one of those storm systems all the way 6,000 miles away right now brings us a white Christmas. Stay tuned. We'll have more on that coming up. In the meantime, sports is next.